Good evening and welcome to another one of our Facebook Lives. We have the amazing and fantastic Kirsty Logan with us tonight, and we're going to find out a little bit more about her and how she's been in a business for just a couple of months and the reason for her being with us. But before we start, can I ask you share the link, you send the love hearts, you do all the thumbs up, all these things that apparently you've got to do with social media. I've still to figure this all out, so please make sure you do. And when I ask if you could as well, I'm still figuring this all out, but the interviewing bit's easy. It's remembering all these bits and pieces. So anyway, without further ado, as I say, we have Kirsty with us. So say good evening, Kirsty.
Hi, everyone.
No, you're supposed to say good evening, Kirsty.
Sorry,
anyway,
good evening, Kirsty.
That's even better. Okay, cool. So we're going to have a bit of fun tonight as we do in these lives as such. Anyway, but listen. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Who are you? And I've already kind of given away that you've been with us just a couple of months. So tell us a little bit more.
Okay, so yeah, a couple of months with building up my new business, thoroughly enjoying myself. I am an operations manager at Edinburgh Airport. That's my thing. I've been there for, it's actually 15 years this week.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, long time. Before that, I'd done a few other jobs. I worked on cruise ships, and I worked for the local government and roadworks, which was deathly boring. And that is how I met the person that introduced me to this business. He introduced me as a customer of his, and I really, really liked the concept. I really liked the idea, and he just dropped it in one day. How would you fancy doing what I'm doing? And I said, you know what, that actually really sounds like it's up my street. At the time, I wasn't even really considering making any changes to my job at the airport. And during the lockdown, my working hours hadn't been affected at all because of the position that I do. I had to be there. There's 6 of us in the team. There has to be somebody there all the time. So I was one of the lucky ones that didn't actually have to furlough or reduce hours or reduce pay or anything like that initially. And I decided to take on a new venture, basically because while I felt quite secure, I didn't know what was coming. Nobody knows what's coming. And I just thought, something new might be good. It might be just have a little look and see what it is. And I actually really, really loved what it was. I loved the concept. I loved the idea of it. I loved the fact that it gave me freedom. I could do it on top of doing my full-time job. And then decided after about 4 weeks that I was enjoying it so much that I was actually going to ask if I could go part-time at the airport. They supported that massively. They are, obviously, the aviation industry is on its knees at the moment. They are looking for people to voluntarily take some time off, reduce pay, reduce hours. So I put my hand up and said, yeah, I'll do that. It's a great position to be in, to be able to do that and have something that I'm enjoying that's also making up my wages. I have got a wee boy who's 9.5, going on 21. And he's absolutely loving the fact that mum's home a lot more. I work set days now. I just work on a Friday during the day and a Sunday night. So it's 12-hour shifts. I do a day shift and a night shift. But before that, I was working silly hours. I start work at 6 a.m. I finish at 6. I finish at 6 at night, and vice versa on night shift. So Ewan has to stay with my mum, my sister, my dad, which he loves and he's used to that. But the idea of him being in his own bed of an evening really appealed to him, and he's just started football, and I'm able to take him and be there for him and cook his dinner and see him off to school in the morning, and that for me is that's the best thing about it. That's basically my story.
Wow, so much in there, so much content in there. So it's you and Ewan, obviously therefore just the one income coming in.
Yeah,
don't think there'll be many people in the current climate that would actually be, the employer says, can I work less hours, and you going, hooray, you're looking for this. But that's testament to the fact that you are able to build a side hustle, side gig, whatever people want to call it, the in vogue terminology just now, but basically a business alongside what you currently do. But then it's what I'm listening or what I'm hearing is that what it's allowing you to do is still have that income, regular income coming in, admittedly reduced, but then giving you the opportunity to earn even more money, but most importantly, actually have the time, freedom to do what you want with you and take them to school, pick them up from football. By the way, it won't be long before he says, "Mum, cheerio, bye-bye. Yeah, it's not cool.
Absolutely.
Not cool for school. Not cool for school being with my mum anymore. That was all right 3 years ago, but not now. Especially before 21.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. We even got a few thumbs up and a little love heart. If you've got kids and you know that to be the truth, yeah, there gets a point where, yeah, mum, dad, you're not cool anymore.
Grabbing puddles at every opportunity.
Absolutely. I've got a granddaughter. I was able to pick her up again today, and she comes out and she holds my hand. I'm thinking, this isn't going to last very much longer. She's going to be, anyway, I'll not say that you ladies grow up a lot faster than boys, but, girls definitely grow up faster than boys, for sure. So, yeah, enjoy it whilst you can, because then become teenagers.
Yeah.
And some people have great journeys as teenage kids, and others have less than great journeys. So if you've got teenagers and you can relate to that, give us a big thumbs up, folks, because yeah, that's absolutely the case, having been there as well. Oh dear. So nothing like being live and your phone going off. That person should know we're doing a live, and I'm going to shout at them later on, because they should have done something way before now. Anyway, it's live. So you've been in the business a couple of months, okay, and you've done well for yourself, haven't you? You've done, considering you've not been able to put a huge amount of time and effort in juggling family life, etc. You've done all right, because it's not just some money you've earned. You've got other stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. My goal was initially just to hit the first incentive, and I managed to push it at the end of the month just to make the second incentive as well. So I've actually I've got a couple of nice things coming my way.
Excellent. Now, come on, don't be shy. Tell us. What have you got? What have you got? Come on.
The first one is a full Christmas dinner being delivered to my house just a few days before Christmas. The downside of that is that I'm actually working on Christmas Day, and Ewan's going away to his dad's. But what I've decided to do is, since there's 4 or 5 of us who are going to be on shift on Christmas Day, I'm going to prep it on Christmas Eve and take it in and feed the squad at work on Christmas Day, because we're all there for quite a long time.
Wow. Come on, folks, that's worth sharing. Give her love hearts. Come on, let's see those love hearts go up. It's not even just one of us.
Turn up.
Going to say, there's a party at Edinburgh Airport, free turkey, pigs and blankets, etc. Go for it. Oh, brilliant. Well done, you.
Looking forward to that. There's actually looking forward to going into work on Christmas Day has never happened before. So there's at least another 3 people who are giving it yay. We're going to be dead. And also on top of that, on top of that, there's the fantastic £300 Fortnum and Mason hamper, which is also coming my way, which I worked hard to get. That didn't come easily, but it was easily achievable. But I had to give it that extra little push. But to be honest, it doesn't feel like work. I feel like I'm it feels like socialising a bit, really. Just chatting to people, helping people. It's a great feeling.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, listen, a massive well done. In the business, you've made, if it's okay to say, you've made a few £1,000s so far. Yeah, okay. Ultra part-time. You've got turkey, you've got ham, pigs and blankets, roast potatoes. Oh my God, I'm salivating just at the thought of this. And all the goodies. Fortnum and Mason. There's nothing ever bad in a Fortnum and Mason hamper. Trust me on that. There's stuff in there. You go and Google, what is this?
What is that?
What do you have it with?
Just eat it straight in the jar, whatever it is.
Just go for it, as such.
I'll know what the alcohol is. I'll know that you Google that.
Well, top tip: don't have it before you decide to go on your shift, because you have to drive there. So please don't have any of that before you go and work your shift at the airport, as such. Brilliant. So one thing that I know about you, from having spoken to you before, is that you love working at the airport, and you've worked through the ranks. Is that a fair thing to say? You've thoroughly enjoyed it, yeah?
Yeah, I came in at a level, at a supervisor level. It was weird. It was actually advertised as a customer service job, but it was actually in security. I wouldn't have applied for it had it said security. So it's kind of similar to what happened here with this business. Is I didn't really know what it was, but I gave it a shot anyway and was hugely successful. But yeah, I did work my way up. I learned it. I worked hard. I was the first supervisor that had ever come in that I'd never run a team, had never been on a team. So while everybody thought that would have been harder, it wasn't actually. It was easier because I hadn't established any relationships with people, so it was easy to do my job well. And I think that bode well for me for applied for a couple of things and didn't get them because they just went right for me. But the level I'm at now, I love it. I absolutely love my job. I love the people. I love the buzz. I love the place. But the level that I'm at now is taking me further and further away from the people interaction all the time. And every step forward I take takes me a little bit further away from that. And that's the bit of my job that I really, really enjoy. So while I get to interact daily and regularly with a lot of the team, the passenger interaction isn't there anymore. And I still love my job. I'm still learning every day. Every day is a school day. Anybody that works at the airport will tell you every day is a school day. It's such a huge, diverse business. But I just felt like I needed to learn something else and get back into that whole what I'm good at.
We would never guess from this live that you're good at talking, to be fair. But, it would be fair to say you're a real people person. And would you agree that in the business that's the major thing? If you like dealing with people, then this is ideal for you. But if you're, how can I put it? The exact opposite. I'm trying to think politely how to put it. Then this sort of thing isn't for you because it's interacting with human beings as such. Although, admittedly, how many people have you seen face to face since you've joined the business to do the business?
Hardly any.
So you've been able to do this from home without the risk of COVID. Oh, by the way, talking of which, I've got these. Do you like my little masks that I got?
Very festive.
They're very festive, and got these ones too as well, by the way. So thank you to Marion Perry. So I have. I didn't realise that. So Marion Perry, if you're watching, then great, thank you. She works for Parkinson's UK. It wasn't a deliberate plug, by the way, but Parkinson's UK gave a nice donation. So thank you for that, Marion. My father's got Parkinson's, so something that's close to,
that's a nice
my
touch.
heart as such. But anyway, off topic. It's about you, Kirsty. It's not about things like that. So let's, you're just new, but would it be fair to say always been a forward thinker? You've always been kind of looking for the next thing. You've always been looking to, rather than staying still, you've always thought, well, going forward.
Yeah. And that's what gave me the little push to do something different, because the stage I'm at in my job, I don't particularly want to go forward in that way. I like what I'm doing. And if anything, a step backwards would probably be more comfortable for me. Just to take me back into the passenger interaction and the sort of face-to-face side of things. But yeah, I am a person who is always looking a little bit to what's next. And certainly the change in my job recently, the biggest part of our job is planning, putting in contingency plans and making sure that the business runs day to day. So for me, the planning part in my brain said, this has been really, really good so far. I've been very fortunate. That's not going to last forever, and nobody knows what's going to happen. We could be made redundant next week. Anything could happen. And I just thought, it's time to do something about it now, before I'm in the position where I've seen so many of my close friends being made redundant or having their hours reduced, really struggling for money, having huge amounts of their salary taken away, and really worrying about what they're going to do. And while I've been fortunate not to have been in that position, I don't know if I will be. So I thought, let's just, I've got the opportunity to do something about it now. And I found something I like and that fits in with everything else. So yeah, my granny used to say if I fell out a window, I'd go up the way, but I like to think that I'm just a positive thinker. And if you think positively, then good things will happen.
Well, it's so very. That's a really, really good point. In fact, there's 2 points I'd pick out. Is that the world is the world, and you get to choose which world you want to see. Now, I'm not detracting from what's actually happening, because it's tragic. You know, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people in the UK have lost their lives, and you can't belittle that in any way, shape, or form. But you can choose your attitude towards it, and you've got that positive attitude of, well, I'll do whatever I can, I'll stay as safe as I can, but there's still things you can do, rather than, you know, a lot of people get sucked in by the news, the constant negative news that's out there all of the time. Have you noticed that if you watch a news program for 30 minutes, there's maybe 45 seconds of positivity? Just, folks, if you're watching this just now, give me a big love heart if you agree with me. You watch the news for a full half hour, you're lucky if there's 45 minutes of positivity. It's doom and gloom, whether it's COVID, whether it's Brexit, whether it's this. I mean, you're getting one there as well. It's true. And if you listen to that enough times, what happens is your mindset gets into a negative mindset, and then all of a sudden you can't see things that are directly in front of you. I think it was Derren Brown, I don't even know what you call Derren Brown, the magician, the mentalist, the whatever. I remember seeing a program a few years ago, and again, I apologize if I get this wrong, folks, but I'm sure there was a village in Yorkshire that was deemed the unluckiest village ever, because what they did is they deliberately picked on this village and put constant negative news into there, saying it's the most unlucky village in the whole of the UK. And what they did, I wish I'm going to have to find this program again. And what they did is they put some cameras in, and a long story short, they were following this butcher who said the only luck he ever had was bad luck. Okay, his mindset was completely and utterly the opposite of yours. His was constantly negative. What happened was they put the free newspaper through the post, and in it was a scratch card which was fixed that if he just scratched it, it was free, he would win. Put it in the bin. They put, I'll say, a £50 note on his front doorstep that he had to walk over, and he didn't even notice it. Okay, he's a butcher in this village, and they set up a stall 100 yards away, and they were stopping people going by. They wanted the butcher in particular. They knew he went out for lunch, and he stopped him and says, "If you can name 5 pieces of meat, we'll give you £20." He did 2 or 3 and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll have to go." What? A butcher? You should rattle them off like this. Okay. Anyway, they got them all into this hall and replayed all of this and said, "You missed this opportunity, that opportunity, that opportunity." And he was like, stupid. I can't remember the exact words. It was a few years ago now. Anyway, so they had this big long tube thing, okay, and they got a dice or a die. Singular of dice is die, by the way. There you go. Education lesson for you all. And you've got a 1 in 6 chance of calling it right. So just put it down there, but put some positive vibes out there. So now he's watched this, and by the way, if you get it right, you win £1,000. Okay. So it comes down and it's long, convoluted, and it gets to the bottom, it's the wrong number. And Darren says, "I tell you what, we'll give you just 1 more chance." And guess what happened? Landed on the right number. And you're like, that's nonsense. That's trickery and stuff like that. Call it whatever you want. You put the right vibes out, you suddenly see opportunities, and that's what you are, a positive person. You know, if you're a positive person watching this just now, again, give us the thumbs up, give us a love heart, give us a smiley face. Smiley faces, yeah. If you're that, smiley face would be more appropriate. Give us a big smiley face as such. But what's for you doesn't go by is another expression I always hear. I was fortunate to have been in the right place. I made one decision that had a domino effect to where I am today. I declined a job and took another one that led to a series of events which has put us right here, right now. And I could tell you about it. I might do another interview another time. But there we go. But I tell you, the other thing that I want to pick up from what you said there is, you don't know what the future holds. You've been fortunate that you've been, one of the few people that receive full income. You've been one of the few people that, because of your position, is unaffected. Because how many people have lost their jobs at Edinburgh Airport, as an example? Huge numbers. Yeah. And by the way, airport parking charges are ridiculous. Took my wife there 2 days ago, £4 to drop her off. It's not her fault. It's not Kirsty's fault. It's somebody else's fault. Used to be £2, now £4. That's ridiculous. So if you're going on holidays from Edinburgh Airport, don't get caught out like I nearly did, because I only had enough change for what I thought was going to be £2. It's now £4. But the point is that you make is dig your well before you're thirsty. What does that mean? Dig your well before you're thirsty. If you've lost your job, you need the income right now. And sometimes it can take a bit of time to dig to get down to the water. Whereas if you start digging right now when things are okay, when you need the water, you just put your bucket and you can get that water that you badly need. So, I think that's a really case in point in the current economic climate, because we know the Chancellor said 10 days ago, I think it was, they expect another 1 million people to be unemployed by mid-2021. Now, if they predict that, let you into secret, it'll be more. But they don't want to tell you that. It'll be more. Unemployment will probably hit 3 million. Yeah. Well, like it was in the early 1980s, and obviously we're far too young to remember that. Slightly.
I'm a minor daughter, I remember it very well.
Do you? Well, there you go. So, So anyway, talking about that, how do you see your future? You've done well. You can obviously see it. So, what does the future look like for someone like yourself that's just been a couple of months?
I remember a woman that worked on my team, and redundancy came up a few years. I say a few years ago. It's probably more like 5 years ago now, and maybe even more than that. And I'm sure she was just in her maybe 55, and she took the redundancy and off she went. And we were all thinking, the airport was her life, and she just absolutely loved it. And imagine what's she going to do with herself. And literally now she's like the happiest. She's got married again. She's got a motorhome that she goes about in. She's got an absolutely fabulous life. She's got a dog with her husband. They just go traveling about all over all the time. And not that she's done anything like me, but I remember looking at her back then and thinking, I'm retiring when I'm 55. Because look how able she is to do all the good stuff that she's wanted to do for so long. I thought, right, regardless of what happens, I really, really want to retire when I'm 55. And my dad's one of the men that was, you will have a pension and you will have it when you're 5. So I've got a good pension. I've been lucky enough that I've got a government superannuated pension, and I've always been squirreling a bit of money away, and I've got a good pension with the airport. But I just thought, I'll need something that's just in case, because pensions just now are not great. But we do have a good pension, but I thought I just really want something just to back that up, or else my dream of retiring when I'm 55 is going to be long gone. So this will bring me in a wee bit of extra money that I can squirrel away. If my hours get cut and my pay gets cut, then I'm going to have that extra money to go on holidays, and which I like. I love my luxuries, absolutely love my luxuries, and I like being able to, if I see something that I want, I like to be able to just think, right, I'll save a wee bit of money and I'll get it. Yeah. And I find that over the past couple of months I've been able to get that a little bit quicker, which is always good, especially in the current climate. But in the future, I just say I want to move away somewhere else. I want to live in the sun. And I don't want to be really old when I do that. So that's basically been my, as soon as Ewan's settled, and I don't know if he'll go to uni or what he might want to come with me. I don't know. I hope not. Mum of the year there. But
Ewan, if you're watching, she does mean it. She does love you.
Oh, he might well be. But I think right now he would say he would come. But I think if he did, it would be lovely. But that's always been my goal, is to retire at 55 and go and live somewhere hot. So which isn't a million miles away. I'm only 7 years away from that.
Wow.
So giving my age away now. But so it's not a huge way away. So yes, this might help me achieve that even quicker. Who knows?
Brilliant.
So when I do go and try and buy that place in Spain or the Canaries or wherever I want to go, I might be able to get somewhere much nicer.
Well, there you go. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be absolutely fantastic? And the one thing as an ex-pensions advisor, that I'm not giving advice on pensions for technically this millennium, actually, was the 20th century, 1999, I think was the last time I gave pension advice. The one thing that I will say, if you take a pension early, it does reduce the amount you get for every year you take it early. And given you've just said your age, state pension age currently for you is now 67. What was 60 for women is now 67 for you as well. So that's going to keep getting pushed up. State pension is going to keep getting pushed up because of the economics of the affordability of state pensions. But one other thing, you talked about the near-term future, being able to go abroad, buy that lovely holiday home. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't love it? Come on, more love hearts. Come on, I've not had a love heart for a little while. Give us a little love heart if you would like a holiday.
You come and visit me in my holiday home
For free. She forgot the for free bit. I'm bound to get a love heart going now. Who wouldn't like to be able to go wherever they want, and most importantly, have the time to do it? So it's not just the money, it's the time. That's the crucial part of it as well. But one of the other things that's amazing about the business as well is the way the money is generated, and that obviously you are a single mom, and it's horrible to think about this, but it all happens to us eventually. We all die. But one of the great things is the income that comes in automatically to you every month for the work you've done previously. It doesn't just get paid to you whilst you're alive. It actually gets paid in full, continuously, to you.
Yeah.
Now just think for a second, folks. Just think about that. When I came across this 14 and a half years ago, I joined for 3 reasons. One was free holidays. 2, my favourite words, free and holidays. Second, the ongoing monthly income that would be like a pension scheme, as you've just talked about there. And the third was to ensure that my family are financially looked after long after I'm gone. It's called a legacy. It's called a financial legacy, to ensure that, you know, the generations, you know, I've got 3 kids and I've got a granddaughter as well. They are looked after long after I'm gone because of the work that I do today or tomorrow or last year or last decade for that matter. That is massive. So, you know, if anyone's watching this tonight, we're going to conclude just now. And the only reason we're going to stop, because I'm actually having lots of fun. I don't know if you are, Kirsty, but she's got a meeting in 3 minutes time. So we've got to conclude. We've got to conclude. But listen, if you are watching this and you're thinking, well, actually, some of the things resonate with me tonight, and if they do, please share this. Please share this on your Facebook and wherever, Instagram and all these things, and you know, get in touch with us in any way, shape, or form. You know, if you're connected to Kirsty, ask her more questions, ask her more what it's about, you know, or, you know, come and ask me, ask questions on our Facebook page or whatever it is. But if you can relate to this in any way, shape, or form, or if you know someone who's hurting at the moment financially because of the economic climate, then there's plenty of room. I'm sure you would agree. There's plenty of room on this plane. Did you like that? There's plenty of room on this plane. It's a COVID-free plane, by the way. And we're setting off into the sunset. I think that's probably a good way to end our live tonight. So listen, thank you so much, Kirsty, for giving up your time tonight.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, listen, everybody, we will be doing another one next week. Who will it be and what will we discuss? So again, Kirsty, thank you very much for your time. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, everyone. All the best now. Bye-bye.